Verse Secret Limited. Then I get his channel. Second. Wait, how old is his React channel? I thought he just made this channel. Did he turn a different channel into the React channel?
Hello, everyone, and good evening. Phil here. And
Oh, this was King of Hate?
all right, ladies and gentlemen, impromptu here on a 200 Vest celebration stream. I was urged by my viewing audience to leave the stream and take a break to run out and get another product for a second DSP Tries It of the show, to basically adjourn the show. I did. There's something new at Wendy's that's supposed to be a special drink called the Frosty Chino. Now, for those who don't know, Wendy's has an ice cream dessert called a Frosty. It's basically a soft serve ice cream that's really thick, and you can either
Get wrecked,
chocolate
noob.
or vanilla. They've had this forever. I used to get the chocolate Frosty when I was a kid. When I used to go to my godfather's house, there was a Wendy's along the way, and on the way home, my parents and I would get a Frosty that we would share on the way home. Okay? I like the Wendy's Frosty a lot. I do. I think the Wendy's Frosty is quite good. It's a nice thick ice cream. It's very delicious. The Frosty Chino, by the name itself, should imply that it's a cappuccino or some kind of a coffee drink combined with the Wendy's Frosty. So I went over and I got it because people wanted me to get it live on the stream. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Wendy's Frosty Chino. It's the large size, so it's either small or large, so I got a large. Do you see something that may possibly be misleading about this? Exactly, Alexander Rossi. It looks like an iced coffee. Because it is an iced coffee. They offer it in either chocolate or vanilla. I said, okay, I love chocolate. This looks to me exactly like an iced coffee. Nothing special at all. Okay. Let me go ahead and try it.
Give it the old college try, Phil. See what it tastes like there. I bet you it tastes like coffee, maybe?
So at the bottom, it does taste like there's like a coffee or chocolate syrup at the bottom because it's kind of concentrated. Let me take a sip from the top.
Well, why don't you mix it all together? Because
You gotta see from the top,
who does that?
it has way less of a chocolate flavor.
Who sips from the bottom and is like, oh, that's all syrup? And then they're like, oh, I'm just going to sip from the top. Don't you shake it and mix it up with the straw? Who's just, let me try the top part. Maybe that's better. Phil's a legit psychopath, dude. Feels like that chick in that movie who fucking puts the cereal in her mouth and then fucking sips the fucking milk through a straw. That's some shit Phil would do.
If you sip from about this half, it just tastes like pure coffee. If you sip from the bottom,
He goes back to the bottom. He goes back to the bottom.
it tastes just like sugar syrup. Like they
No
put
fucking shit.
Sugar syrup.
It settles at the bottom.
But
Mix it up.
this is nothing but an iced coffee with some sugar syrup at the bottom. There is no Frosty whatsoever in this drink at all. I don't know why they call it the Frosty Chino. It sounds to me like it's incredibly misleading because you would think there's Frosty in it, and there is no Frosty in this
Oh
whatsoever.
my god. Goodness gracious.
Now, here's the thing. If you're going to Wendy's and you want...
That movie is, it's the Jordan Peele movie. Not Nope. That was the new one. What's the old one? The first one, or? Dude, I don't know. My brain's not working yet, dude.
Want a coffee? This ain't bad.
Get out.
Like
Thank
I said,
you.
the coffee's not bad. It's sweet. If you like sweet flavoring with chocolate flavor to it, I would recommend it. I'm sure that it's going to be high in calories and high in caffeine because it's got coffee, and it's probably like I would guess this is probably this size large. I'd almost guarantee you this is 500 calories. Just this with the sugar, 500 calories, and you're only supposed to have 2,000 calories in a day. I would guarantee you this is 500 calories because of the amount of sugar that's in the bottom.
Bro, you're the last person that's counting calories, dude. What do you even care about
Someone
that?
just asked how much was it? I believe it was $3 because I think the total was like 6 something, and I got one for me and one for my wife. So I think that it was $3 for the large. I really don't have anything to say. Like, how do you rate it? It's an iced coffee. It tastes like every other iced coffee out there because it's got chocolate sweetener in it and coffee. It's nothing special at all. Should you go to Wendy's to buy the Frosty Chino? No.
Oh, you got wrecked,
If you're
homie.
going
Sorry.
to Wendy's and there's already you want a coffee drink and you're gonna get other stuff at Wendy's, then get it. But I wouldn't just go to Wendy's to get this Frosty Chino at all.
Epic snort.
There's nothing special about it. I feel it's false advertising. They should just call this the iced coffee, not the Frosty Chino.
Nope. I don't know. I thought it was okay.
What does Kat think? Same thing.
That's just like a, standalone movie.
She said that she's like, it's iced coffee. She said that she looked online, and I guess in the advertisement...
I don't really get to the movies much anymore.
And she said that she had read a review of it. And in the review, it said that it's actually a thicker drink because they're supposed to put Frosty in it. And if there's Frosty at the bottom, it's thick, and you have to like kind of mix it up, and it distributes the Frosty more equally. But there's no Frosty in my drink. So either they made it completely wrong at my local Wendy's.
There's no Frosty in my drink,
false
dude.
Advertising.
So what are you gonna rate it? 0?
I just happen to be thirsty, so I drank half the damn thing already, and it tastes like an iced coffee. Okay. No, I did not order the wrong item. No, I did not. I said I want 2 large Frosty Chinos. That's what I said.
I don't think they know what a Frosty Chino is,
DSP
dude.
tries it. For the Frosty Chino, 2 out of 5. There's absolutely nothing special about it. I would not recommend going to Wendy's for it. If you're looking for coffee at Wendy's and you're already at Wendy's, yes, outside of that, it's the most standard.
I gotta cut my hair, dude. This shit's getting too long.
It's basically a recipe for disappointment if you're expecting something special. This is very disappointing. That was a disappointing DSP tries it. I was expecting to show up and be like, here's something special, here's something different, here's something cool.
That was awful.
Instead, we got disappointment in a cup.
I like the
winners.
I like the waffle one better than this one. That was boring.
Completely soaked the sandwich in sauce.
Yo! Meerkat Mall.
Yo! Juicy, hangy, moist, gourmet level burger. That's robust. Safe to swallow. Juicy, hangy, moist cheeseburger. Getting all over my face. Gourmet level burger. tangy zip, whirl, moist,
burger.
Yummy, and robust. Yo! I have gout. Gout is a disease that makes my acid levels much higher than most people's. And so if I eat certain foods, my acid level elevates, skyrockets, and then I get all giant swelling and incredible pain in my joints. So I'm gonna eat this burger live with you today and share what I think about it. I'm sure people are gonna be asking me questions about it. Yo! Juicy, tangy, moist, gourmet level, timed release of flavors. Burger, that's robust. Juicy, tangy, moist burger. Getting all over my face. Gourmet level burger. Tangy, whirl, moist
Burger.
Yo! Gow, 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 gow. Cheeseburger! My hand is completely covered in sauce. This started about 10 years ago. As the crash was an alcoholic.
Oof.
That was the start of my YouTube career.
Oof.
Today, many years later, things are a lot better. That's for sure. That is for certain. It is certain. Things, it is certain. Raw. Rail, hail. Not the bag, bro. Not the tips. Not the plastic cups. Wheel, tail, gin. Raw. Whale, hail. Bro. Wheel, tail, gin. Former pro player. Former alcoholic. Right? Drinking liquor all day long. Good variety of stuff. We'll even have an incentive if someone contributes a very large contribution. I'll take a shot of a special liquor that I have not revealed yet. I'm not getting drunk. Absolutely not. Raw. Whale, hail. Not the bag, bro. Not the tips, right? Plastic cups. Wheel, tail, gin.
Detox.
Whale, hail.
You need Jesus. Fill up. Consume.
Whale, hail.
Day after day.
Doodoo
after
flavored
day.
triple.
If you do, to hell with you. You need help. You need Jesus.
Raw. Whale, hail. Not the bag, bro. Not the tips, right? Plastic
Actually, hold up. I need to find that song.
Not the bag,
It's like a remix or something. Hold up.
not the bag, bro. Not the whale, hail. They completely.
It's disappointing.
Not this song. It's another song.
But
Hold on.
at the same time, you know, it just once again, all the detractors, they said this was going to happen, and they were right.
Holy shit, Phil. The detractors.
They were right.
Holy shit, Phil. Your detractors.
They were right.
Holy shit, Phil. Do you hear yourself right now?
They were right.
Like, we totally fucked him.
Dog, fuck all that noise. Get you a bottle of gin from Total Wine. Fire up your TV. Drinky gin. Drinky gin. Consequences have actions, pimp. Here's what you gotta do. Drinky gin. Drink a Pepsi later on. Play your fucking WB champions. Consequences have actions, pimp.
Holy shit, Phil. The detractors.
They were right.
Holy shit, Phil. Your detractors.
They were right.
Holy shit, Phil. Do you hear yourself right now?
They were right.
Like, we totally fucked him. Stop being a fucking victim. You fucking bitch. You fucking
Yo, what's up, Ramirez?
Own your shit. Own your shit. Own it. Holy shit, Phil.
Oh, I think I found it.
They
I
were
think it
right.
was this one.
Holy shit, Phil. Your detractors.
They were right.
Bitch. Holy shit, Phil.
Oh,
Do you hear
damn, the
yourself,
song's
bitch?
only like halfway over. Oh.
Like, we totally fucked him.
You're still on mission 1. No, I'm not gonna let you lie. I know you're lying. I'm gonna pick on you. I know you're lying. Being dishonest and begging for money, begging, and people wanting justice. He is not a real person. He's not genuine. He is not honest. He's a scammer. I just see a scammer.
They were right.
Holy shit, Phil. The detractors.
They were right.
Holy shit, Phil. Your detractors.
They were right.
Holy shit, Phil.
I just see a scammer.
They were right.
Like, we totally fucked him. All right, I'm done. I'm done.
I understand everything now. I know why there's this hate wave on him, and it's been on him for years. It's because of this bullshit.
This one?
I'm not monetized anymore. I shouldn't attack the bar free.
Yeah, I think it was this one.
I know, pray when I see it. I've been a predator all my damn life. I'm built different than them. I'm cut from a different cloth. We ain't the same. There may be some gunfire, bloodshed, and bullets. Dog. Damn. Doodle flavored trickle. Dog. Laying on your back, spreading your leg. Dog. I know, pray when I see it. Damn. Dog. I've been a predator all my damn life. Ain't no clapback videos. I'm looking. I'm built different. We ain't the same. Dog. I touch him anytime I feel like it. I'm touching him now. I come from scum. That's why I'm a Christian. I come from backwoods, incest-driven maniacs. I'm designed and built to bully effeminate men. We come from the bottom, and he raises us up, and he cleans us off. And from that point forward, I've been walking clean. Dog. Damn. Doodle flavored trickle. Dog. Laying on your back, spreading your leg. Dog. I know, pray when I see it. Dog. Damn. I've been a predator all my damn life. I'm built different. Dog. We ain't the same. I'll touch him anytime I feel like it. I'm touching him now.
Hold up, hold the hell up. I didn't want to forget those bargain bin fluffers who calls themselves detractors. No, not all of you, fam. Season motherfucking 2.
I need my boyfriend. Spreading your leg, dog. I need my boyfriend. Laying on your back, dog. I need my boyfriend. Spreading your leg, dog. I need my boyfriend. For a train being run on effeminate men, dog. I need my boyfriend. Spreading your leg. I need my boyfriend. Train being run on effeminate men.
Hey fam, it's your girl Samantha.
$13,000. AG Almighty 8 gang, pull up and get your shit splat gang. Pull up,
It
hop
was
out and
all
scram your
fake.
shit, gang.
It was all fake.
On their computers. Baller alert. They on computers talking shit offline, they losing it. 10-year legacy on life support, now the Patreon hit. The mod's a bitch, I'm been goofy just to send some bits. I ain't a snitch, but 3rd out of 3rd, he ain't never call a hit. Mimology, Mr. Hustler, Vanilla on speed dial. My niggas wild, can't forget Theo when he the golden child. Who else around? Kicking swaggins and DSP on some goofy shit. KG a bitch, trips to Japan, he get finesse by a chick. He a trick, I just made a brand new socket. What we do, huh? We just trolled a brand new op, bitch. AG Almighty 8 gang, what up? Get your shit scrambled, gang. You can't get played like Rambo, Howard or the pack. Your girl a snack. She go get swipe right to see how you react. DSP is how you don't play. He failing games every day. Buying fast food with the tips is why he gaining weight. We troll a chill, socks is real, man, it's been a drill. Subcon went up a few days ago, bro, you know that ain't real. The streams ain't chill, you yawn and complain about your bills. Cackle be gon' damn near every night, you need some gin for real. You diss Ninja, PewDiePie, and the Almighty. What the fuck? How you go feel when them Twitch cops not on your side? That ass bang. Kicking the furries, sweaties do sweet just like some McFlurries. Chat put on sub, only mode the moms don't have to worry. Do them dirty, X pull up with the shit, they get super nervous. What's the purpose? Praise be his name, Almighty at your service. Pull up, they log in, what's up? No tips, no bits, they talk tough. Let me change up the style. Hey, game we go wild. Hey, what? We hooligans, cooling and bullying and fuck next, we up now. Ha. Hey, game we go wild. Hey, what? We hooligans, cooling and bullying and fuck next, we up now. Hey, shout out to Susan and big ups to Porsche for holding it down. Hey, niggas out here trolling with a couple grand. What the fuck? To me that sound like you a fucking fan. Hey, do them dirty. X pull up with this shit, they get super nervous. What's the purpose? Praise be his name, Almighty at your service. Praise be.
It's Tevin's fall. Post-nasal drip is a constant. It keeps going. It's like a faucet that's dripping. I can't turn it off. I can't make it stop. Then I'm like, damn, my post-nasal drip is going. My sinuses are inflamed. My throat is gunked up. What is going on here? Damn. Snort, snort, snort. Code, drip. Snort, snort. I got the drip. Go. Snort, snort, snort. Code, drip. Snort, snort. I got the drip. Go. Damn, I got the drip. Go. I got the tips. Go.
Morning, everyone.
Damn, I got the drip. Go. I got the tips. Go. Clear your throat.
Welcome.
Please,
to my
Timmy.
final consecutive
Damn.
day of the
Clear your
week.
throat.
Today is
Blow your nose.
Tuesday,
Damn.
April 25th,
Damn.
2023.
Snort.
That's right. We
Snort.
are almost
Snort. Code, drip. Snort.
end.
Snort. I got the drip. Go.
And April was an interesting month,
Snort.
although admittedly,
Snort. Snort.
not a very
Code,
big one
drip.
for new releases.
Snort.
Not a very big
Snort.
one.
I got the drip. Go.
Honestly, height.
I got the drip.
went into
Go.
the month.
I got the drip.
Already
Go.
playing Resident Evil 4.
That's how I summon Snort Hogan, dude.
I got the drip. Go.
I just play this song.
I got the drip. Go. I got the drip.
Finally, we have
I got the
stuff.
drip. It's like a faucet that's dripping.
We have a month
Can't make that
special
stop.
event coming up.
So what do you want me to
And
do?
in the
Have
month of
a
May,
mute
it's
button
gonna
that
be
every
the
second
opposite
I'm
this
tapping
month.
the mute button just in case I'm gonna have to clear.
Gonna be a
Like,
high-profile
this is what I mean.
new
These
release.
dumb kids. This is what it is. It's dumb
Get
kids.
everyone excited for the new month. I am too. How's everyone doing today? I hope you're doing well, and I hope your week is going well. This is my final consecutive streaming day of the week, meaning tomorrow is my day off, and tomorrow is going to be a very, very busy day for me. I have a ton to do. I'm running around, doing a million things. Last week was supposed to be my day off where I did a lot of stuff.
A million things.
Canceling that because my wife was so tired from work. I'm hoping when she gets home today that she's not as tired and or not feeling under the weather, because that was the problem. Like, she
Cat's tired,
she had
man.
cold last week, but then it finally went away, thankfully. So we'll see. But today should still be a great day to end the week. We got a lot of fun gameplay in store for everyone. The podcast today is interesting because we're going to update everyone here on the schedule and stuff going on, because now we have set in stone a few new events based off of yesterday's podcast. Plus, I do have a schedule update for all of you in regards to something I'm going to be doing on the React channel. Plus, I have an update on our idea for next month's special event here on DSP Gaming. Plus, I do have a kind of news update today as well. I think I have one or two news
And
stories that I
then...
want to talk about.
And then...
Here on the show. And look at this.
And
Look at what we got here.
then... Oh.
A special guest. A special guest has just joined us. Now, Jasper, you were asleep on the bed. And now you've woken up to come here. He was a sleepyhead today. And my wife had to go to work early today, which means, she's awake a couple hours before me on a day when she goes to work early. And, of course, Jasper gets up with her. So he was up early, too. And then he tried to wake me up when I didn't need to get up yet. I was like...
Sleepyhead Jasper. Oh.
Until I have to get up.
Drop.
So when
Drop.
I got up to get ready for stream,
Oh.
get up.
Oh.
Right, he was just
Scripted.
on the bed, not moving. And in fact, every day we usually give him a treat in the morning, a liquid style treat. That's usually like a puree or something.
A liquid style? What the fuck?
And, he basically didn't even.
A liquid style treat?
He stayed on the bed.
What the fuck is a liquid style treat?
So, a silly kitty.
Sounds
will
robust.
be joining us today. I don't know if he'll stay in here or not.
Yo.
Typically these first couple of days.
Wait, if I shoot it, does it drop faster?
Jasper, why do you like doing this? This is his new routine now. He likes sitting on my lap during the podcast. It's very, very sweet, but at the same time, it's weird because now I got to try to do a podcast with a cat on my lap, and my lap is going to get warm. Jasper, you may not realize this, but you're a furry creature, and you are very warm. Sitting on my crotch, you're going to make me hot and sweaty down there, and that's not very comfortable for me. It's funny. Oh, my goodness.
It's funny.
Jasper, you are a silly boy. You are a silly boy. Oh, my goodness. A silly kitty. Let's give him a rub. A kitty rub. Yes. Now, Jasper, I have a lot to talk about on the show today.
It's a cat treat you squeeze out of a tube.
Distracting me because you're so cute. You're so darn cute. He's so cute. I can't.
That's not what he said, though. He said it was like fish or some shit. I don't know.
I have to continue to pet this cat because he's so cute. I just can't stop myself.
He never mentioned the tube.
Look, watch this. Whoop. He loves it. He loves the attention. All right, Jasper, you gotta get down now. I'm sorry. Come on, let's go. There we go. Okay, I gotta concentrate on the show.
I've never seen that. I've never seen
start. That was a good positive
tube-style
start to the show.
treats.
It's always nice to have a special guest on the show, right? Okay. So let's get right into it. All right, let's talk about the schedule for the week. Then what I'd like to do is give you guys some updates. I have multiple updates on stuff going on. I have news stories to cover. We've got a lot to talk about today. First of all, thank you guys for a really, really supportive week. If you haven't noticed, look at this. This week, we had so many memberships and gifted memberships on the channel. We started off this week in the low 500s. Yeah, it was like low to mid 500s, and here we are about to hit 700 members on the channel. For the first time in months, I haven't had that many members since like the fall when it was the middle of all the busiest gaming season of the year, and all those new releases were coming out. Obviously, guys, thank you so much for that. That kind of support is great and appreciated because, number one, obviously, that's a huge amount of support that will help this channel in the long term. It will. But number two, people are now going to be able to use those memberships during all the upcoming events, right? We've got a brand new... Well, first of all, we got the Street Fighter 6 demo. We got a brand new game with Jedi Survivor. And another one right after that with Redfall. And this will continue on even into Zelda in mid-May. So this is excellent that people will now have that membership. And, you know, it's like I've told you guys also when I was over on Twitch, because people would say, well, I don't understand what's the big benefit of gifted memberships, because isn't that just temporary support? Well, obviously the answer is yes. It's a month, and then after that it expires. But from what I've noticed, every time that a gifted membership or gifted sub over on Twitch happens, there's a small percentile of people who maybe
Why can't I tell what direction sounds are coming from?
They're like, wow, look at this. Well, I got all Phil's... Oops, I almost knocked over my seltzer. I got all of Phil's emotes. You know, I got a cool highlighted name. I like the chat crown. I got a benefit where I could talk more in the chat during streams because I wasn't in slow mode. Excuse me. And or any of the many other benefits that you can get for being a member. And a lot of people say, well, I like having that. Now I'm going to continue it. And then they just decide to continue the membership. Now, I'm certainly not saying that this is something that happens all the time. It's not. But a very small percentile of people who renew help the channel long term. And that's why, you know, this channel gets
two full auto mode. What?
And I'm very happy about that. Thank you. Even if it means 1% of the people who are gifted a membership decide to renew it, that's still growth. You see? So you got short-term growth and support, but then you have long-term
taste
growth
tested
as a
it.
result of it. So anyone who gifted a membership, thank you. Of course, anyone who actually became a member or renewed a membership on their own, also thank you. That's great. So what I've noticed this week particularly is that obviously memberships and super chats were way up. And it's funny because tips have been a little bit on the slower side. If you haven't noticed, there's only been 1 or 2 streams this week where I wore like a hat, meaning that we hit that level of tips goal. If you remember at the beginning of the week, I introduced a new hat, the red fedora.
Silly
so I wore
hat.
that twice. And then since then, I think I had one more hat, and it was the other night, and it was last minute. And some people go, oh, see, Phil's failing. I'm like, what? What are you talking about? This week was a humongous support week. Why on earth would you say something stupid like that? Because there's people out there who, no matter what, they got to be so negative about everything, and they're doing it on purpose because God forbid that I have a vote of
Where
little
is
bit of
he?
success
Like,
in any way, shape, or form. They can't.
Where is this guy?
They're, oh my God. They can't believe that there's people who enjoy my content. They can't believe that I'm not just a living meme on the internet for them to make fun of. They're so upset about this. So, too bad. It was a great week, and I'm excited for the final day of the week.
What?
You guys know the ways you can support this stream. Now, obviously, this week was amazing for memberships, amazing for super chats, and all of that. And again, that will help this channel long term. If you wanted to support the channel in any way today, obviously the preferred way would be tips if you could, because tips have been on the slower side this week. But it's not the end of the world if we have another slow tips day. I'm okay. You know what I mean? It's funny because these people they say things like, see, and Phil says that he's not going to pay his rent and he's not going to do this and that. First of all, I don't even have rent. I never had rent. I don't know what they're talking about. No, if you haven't noticed, I haven't talked about stuff like that in ages. Things have been pretty good. Admittedly, you know, the last couple of months. You know, I would say ever since I launched DSP Reacts, it's helped a bit. Because not only do we have everything still going on here on DSP Gaming, but now we have a whole new React channel that people are supporting, and it's been helping a lot. So, it's funny because they still act like things that have happened in the past. Admittedly, in the past, things have been bad financially for me. Things have been incredibly tight to the point where I've had, you know, weeks and months where I'm like, guys, I really need help. If you can help me, please do. If you haven't noticed, that hasn't happened recently, right? In a couple months, if not more. And they act like that's not the case. Like, oh, Phil's still there doing the same thing every day. No, actually. It's not the case, but they will pretend like everything is black and white and absolute, and things never change and things never improve, right? So, all I would say is ignore the nonsense. Don't listen to the bullshit. If you can support the stream today, thank you. Any way is appreciated, all right? Because what's the preferred way? Well, yeah, obviously tips would be great because tips have been to have a slower week this week. But any way you want to support, I don't look a gift horse in the mouth, man. You know, this is my life, my livelihood. This is how I make my living. It's not, this is some side thing, or I have a bunch of sponsorship deals, and it doesn't matter how I do on a stream. It very much does matter how I do on my streams. And you guys have been making my streams amazingly supportive in the last few weeks. So why on earth would I be complaining about anything or asking for anything? I'm not. Just whatever, man. It's all good.
Well, it doesn't sound all good. It sounds like you're worried because you don't have enough money for Hogan polls right now. Why is this? Is this what it sounds like to beg without trying to sound like you're not begging? Like, it's good, but wink, wink, it's not good.
All right, so if you can support, please do. Thank you. Really appreciate that.
There you go.
Remember, as simple as liking the stream, which is free, helps a lot and adds engagement. Getting those 100 likes is a key component. Adding engagement to my content and sending more people over to this channel to check it out, right? But then everything else is also appreciated, whether it's super chats, memberships, you know, tips, all great. Today, if you're thinking of tipping, remember we have these tips goals in effect, and the sooner we hit them, the better, because you get a longer reward. If you want to see a hat, well, then tip earlier, so that way people can vote, and we can have a hat for a lengthier portion of the stream, as opposed to the other day when we hit the hat goal.
And he's back to his ways because he's heartless. He's Phil Burnell, and he's begging.
Of me wearing the Dumas helmet, and we didn't have a chance to even run the poll because the stream was over, you see? Okay. Let's move on from that stuff and get into some nice positive things with scheduling and talking about what we're doing this week. So today, more Elden Ring, the third straight day of Elden Ring before
Elden
we now
Rings.
are going to go on an Elden Ring kind of break this next week. So what are we doing? Well, in Elden Ring, we have had amazing progress in the last couple of days. I've done multiple optional dungeons. Both the Sofria River and Ansel River we cleared. Yesterday, we went north into Mount Gelmer and into the Volcano Manor area, and we did a bunch of stuff in that region and unlocked a bunch of waypoints and even fought some optional bosses and stuff there. I'm thinking today we should probably head eastward and try to clear the plains up to the capital and maybe do stuff all around the capital area. More optional bosses, more upgrade items. My real
bad,
goal,
I had him turned down a little bit.
There's a couple options. All right. Goal number 1 is I want to find a level 5 somber smithing stone. All right. If I find a level 5 somber smithing stone, I can upgrade my katana. And I already found the level 6, so I could get my katana up to +6 now if I could find this item. I don't know where it is, though. So that's one thing we got to figure out, okay? Number 2, I want to get as many runes, souls, grace, whatever it's called, because I don't even remember in this game. I need to get as much of that as possible. Jasper, what is it? Jasper Kitty, what is it? What are you staring at me for? He's laying on my lap again. Oh my God. Jasper, I said I can't do this. He's gonna get me completely distracted again. I'm gonna forget what I'm talking about. Jasper, listen to me. You're a very cute cat. I love you.
He's using
You're
the
like
cat
my
treats.
son. You understand?
To get him
Look,
on the camera.
You can't get attention all the time. You can stay in the room. You can play. You can lay on the floor.
Now he's used to getting the treats, Phil, so you got to give it to him.
This is not the Phil Pat's a Cute Cat show. This is the Level 1 podcast. You understand? Oh my goodness. He is really demanding attention today. All right, buddy. You got to get down. I'm sorry. I got to do the show. I got to get it through his head.
That's sad,
okay.
Phil, that you can't give your cat attention.
Wholesome stream. Yes, nice and wholesome. So what was I saying? Oh, yeah. I need to get as many levels as possible. Right now, I want to say I'm like level 49 intelligence, and I've gotten multiple things that will increase, make my character way powerful if I hit level 60 intelligence. So that's a ways to go. But I found the most powerful staff in the game for Glintstone, and I found the most powerful spell, right? Which is, what was it called? The Comet Azure. I have that. So now I need to hit 60. And once I hit 60, it's like now we're going to be like ultra magic user for the rest of the game, which is the goal, obviously, right? So we need to do that, but it's going to take a bit of grinding, essentially. So that's my goal today, is maybe by going around kind of eastward from Mount Gelmer and into the capital city, maybe we can explore and fight some enemies and do some optional bosses and get those levels. Now, also, we might do Volcano Manor. Like, Volcano Manor can be done at any time, right? And I think I'm probably around a level that I could probably do it, no? The question is, how hard would the end be? Because remember, guess what? What are you doing? Now he's attacking one of my wires. My concern is if I get to Reichert, who's the boss of the Volcano Manor, right? I might get screwed because I have no health. I'm a glass cannon in this build. I have like no health. So, and a lot of things are one-shotting me. So my concern is I get there and, remember the Reichert fight is a gimmick fight. You use the staff to shoot lasers at him to kill him or whatever, which is all well and good. But I am nervous that I'll get to him and literally won't be able to beat him because he's going to just one-shot me, you see? And I am nervous about getting one-shotted because I don't have vigor. And that's why I was thinking maybe I should, instead of doing that, go to the capital.
I'm going to one-shot you,
around the capital and all the optional stuff around the capital and do that first. Might be a better idea. I'm not sure. So, we have ideas, thinking about it, what we should do today. But I think we're going to definitely try to get this Somber Smithing Stone and level up my katana more and then do more stuff around the capital area to level up. That's kind of my goal for today. Now, people are like, what about Radon? What about Radon? Listen, I'm ready to fight Radon, but again, this build, until I get to the optimal build, which would be Intelligence 60, so I can use the best staff, the best spell, I feel like I'm kind of screwing myself over. Because, how am I going to fight Radon? Again, I can only take like one hit. So I need to have something that's going to be the same to him. You know what I'm saying? I think I has to be like, focus on doing maximum damage output, so when I fight Radon, I blow him away with 1 or 2 hits, rather than go there, and now I'm hitting him for tiny little chunks of damage, and I can't dodge anything 'cause he's going to kick my ass. You know what I mean? So, there you go. Let's see what happens today. Let's explore. Let's do more. All right? And go from there. Then, tonight on the late stream, which we determined yesterday, 6:45 p.m. Pacific time, it'll be the continuation of Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion. And yes, tonight we are absolutely, positively starting Shivering Isles. I've decided Shivering Isles will be what we will do tonight. Forget the main story. I actually want to start the DLC and get that going because you guys have convinced me that Shivering Isles is such a good DLC and you want me to do it. So we're going to do that starting tonight. Okay? So I hope that you will join me for that tonight if you're interested in the Shivering Isles DLC. I don't know anything about it, but you guys told me, oh, it's like the best DLCs Bethesda's ever done. So I'm down for that starting tonight. Please join me if you can. Okay? Then I'm off from streaming tomorrow, as I've explained. When I come back on Thursday, the first stream will be the Street Fighter 6 World Tour single-player beta. So if you're not aware, Street Fighter 6 had a beta, but only on PS4 and PS5 last week. It's not beta, it's a demo, excuse me. But yeah, it launched last week, right after that digital event that we did on Thursday. But it hasn't been anywhere else. So tomorrow, it launches on PC and Xbox. So we will be doing that on Thursday. I'll be checking it out on Xbox Series X. And I'm going to work hard to create my character. You know, when I created my character in the beta, I messed around. I purposefully made a hideous character that didn't look like me because I just wanted to get into the online gameplay. Like, I don't care about this right now. You know, now I do care because there is no online gameplay. There's no rush. So we could take our time, even if it takes like an hour, make this character, try to make the character look good. Because this is going to be my avatar that I'm actually going to be using, not only in the single-player campaign of the real game when it comes out in June, but also in the Battle Hub for as long as I play this game online. This is the character that's going to be running around the Battle Hub. So I want to try to make, you know, a decent character, if I can. Even if it looks funny, at least I want to put time into it, all right? So that's going to be number one, and then when we're done making a character, we're going to play the content, and for what I'm to understand, there's roughly around an hour of content if you repeatedly do it to grind a little bit. There is more than that, but essentially it's about an hour demo. So I'm thinking, spend about half an hour to an hour making my character, and then maybe about an hour playing the demo, then we'll see what it is. Now, there's likely going to be some extra
see what it is, boy.
If that's the case, that's fine. Then we could probably just do some Q&A or just chill, have a little bit of interaction, rather than be worried too much about time constraints. I'm going to do it as the main stream, even if there's not as much content. I still think it makes sense. Some people have been asking me to test performance on the Xbox Series X because I guess some people played it on PS5 and PS4.
Big ups.
And they found some performance issues. They were saying it would dip to 30 frames at some point. So I'm curious. How will it perform on the Series X? Will it perform any better or worse? I guess we're going to find out. No one knows yet because it hasn't been out on there yet, right? So that's going to be the main stream on Thursday. And then Thursday night will be more Final Fantasy V Pixel Remaster for you guys. We played it last night. Had a great time with it. I love this game. I'm having a great time with Final Fantasy V. I hope you guys will join me for more of that on Thursday. Then on Friday, it is the premiere of Star Wars Jedi Survivor, brand new release, the sequel to Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order from a few years ago. Excited to play it. I'm going to be playing it all day long on the first and second streams that day for maximum coverage of the hot new release. Then on Saturday, it's DSP versus the Internet, my weekly Clips React show over on DSP Reacts, my sister channel. So we'll do that live on the first stream. And then the late stream will be more Star Wars Jedi Survivor here on DSP Gaming. Sunday, April 30th, the last day of the month, is a special event. It is my long-form React event of the month. And this month, we are reacting to the Internet Historian YouTube channel, per your requests and per your suggestions. What we will do is that day on the Level 1 podcast, there will be a poll. You guys will vote on which of 5 Internet Historian videos I should react to first. Will it be The Fall of 76, The Engoodening of No Man's Sky, The Cost of Concordia, The Firefest Disaster, which I forgot the name of the video, and then that place between Area 50 and Area 52, which is the Area 51 video. So those are the 5 you guys seem to be interested in the most. We'll have a poll, and you'll vote for the first one. I'll react to it for as long as it takes. During that day, there will be a live meal that I'm going to have. I had a discussion with my wife, and it sounds like we're going to be ordering some Indian food that day, which I'm excited for. I haven't had Indian food in many months, so it'd be cool to have Indian food live on the stream with all of you.
Pretty pricey, though, Phil. Pretty pricey.
Phil. All right? And then, when we react to the first video and that's done, we'll react to another one. We'll have another poll. So, essentially, there should be time for at least 2, if not more, videos, because the Internet Historian videos are anywhere from 25 to 50 some minutes long. They kind of vary in length. And of course, as you guys know, with these long form reacts,
Get smoked,
I tend to pause
homie.
and talk a lot. So we'll see, exactly how long it takes for me to react to something that's not YouTuber drama. Because remember, all my long form reacts have typically been YouTuber drama, whether it's my Down the Rabbit Hole, Wings' Down the Rabbit Hole, the John Rambo and Howard video, the Pro Jared documentary, the second Wings documentary, right? That's the kind of stuff I've been covering. And now we're going to do something completely different. I'm going to be honest with you guys.
He had
I
no
hope it does
what?
well. Do you want to know why?
He had no guns.
Because I don't want to just do YouTuber drama shit all the time. I like doing it. It's fun to do it. But it gets tiring. And I'd much rather do a variety of stuff.
It
hey,
does.
You want me to do one of those kind of documentaries? I'll do one every 2-3 months. But I don't want to do that all the time. It gets old. It gets
I
stale.
felt good until I
Actually,
found out the
I'll be
guy
honest,
had no
after the
gun.
Wings one last month, I was exhausted. I was like, I don't want to do another one right now. I want to do something completely different. So I'm glad we're doing something completely different this month, okay? So I really do hope that this long-form React event does well and you guys enjoy it and will show up and engage and support, because I want to do different kinds of React content, not just the same shit constantly, okay?
You liar.
So that's Sunday.
Pants
Now,
on
I'll still
fire.
have 2 more streaming days. Likely Monday, we'll do more Star Wars Jedi Survivor and pair that with Oblivion. Tuesday, I'll probably leave it up in the air. If you want more Star Wars, we'll do it again. Or we can break it up and do a day of Elden Ring. You see? So there you go. And maybe we'll do Elden Ring as the mainstream on Tuesday.
Elden
so we finally get
Wings.
some Elden Ring next week. And then maybe we'll do like Final Fantasy V Tuesday night. We'll see. But you might say, well, Phil, is that why you played Elden Ring so much this week? Yeah, because I knew next week we're not going to have a chance. It's between Star Wars and, the React stuff, the special React stuff going on. I knew that we were going to have very, very, very little time to really do anything else. So that's why I played a ton of Elden Ring this week. Now, the week after, we'll probably get Elden Ring back into the mix for better variety, okay? Good stuff. Okay, now, another thing is, yesterday we talked at length about what we should do for a special event coming up in May. As I told you guys, I want to do a special event here on DSP Gaming essentially every month and a half. The last one 2 times ago, we did a Super Bowl event, and that was in early February, and that went really well. Then we did a birthday bash celebration earlier this month, and that did really well. So I said, why not do another variety event? It's not just gameplay or whatever, but let's do a variety show. So we started talking about that. Excuse me. Whew. We started talking about that yesterday and brainstorming. And I started thinking about what could we do that would be a hybrid of maybe ideas in the past and then also something that would be very timely. Well, what's going on very shortly that's very hype? Well, on June 2nd, we have the release of Street Fighter 6. Everyone's hyped for it, including me. I'm excited now. It looks like the offline gameplay is going to be just as good as the online gameplay, that this game's going to have a significant amount of content to talk about and enjoy, and I'm very pumped for it, right? So, why not do something to hype up and build up the release of Street Fighter 6? So we talked about it. I'm like, wow, let's do a Street Fighter hype day. Now, we have to think of a name. Let's try to brainstorm a name together, okay? But for now, here's the idea. A marathon day where, number one, I'm going to do challenge runs in classic Street Fighter games. I have the Street Fighter 30th Anniversary Collection, which includes all versions of Street Fighter 2, all versions of Street Fighter 3, and all versions of Street Fighter Alpha. You guys will challenge me to play those games on the highest difficulty level. You'll get to choose the character that I play with as I try to beat the CPU on the hardest difficulty. All right, which, by the way, is very difficult. Those games cheat like crazy.
Dude.
All right, they literally will read your inputs and counter hit you with moves. They'll do double, triple damage. They'll walk forward without charging and do a standing flash kick. That's how hard those games are, all right?
Is that hard to do?
So I think that could be a neat thing to do. Then, not only that, but we're going to do some tier maker events. You guys like the tier maker I did last week. So we're going to do special fighting game themed tier makers. Perhaps what we'll do is we will rank fighting game franchises. Maybe we'll actually rank individual Street Fighter characters, right? We'll see what's available in tier maker, and we're going to do a couple tier maker live rankings, all right? Now, in addition to that, and this was a eureka moment I had yesterday, I was donated to me was a Street Fighter cookbook, which is a book of various kinds of finger foods, drinks, snacks, and things that are related to the Street Fighter character cast. All right? My wife has wanted to make stuff out of that cookbook, but we didn't really have a reason to or an opportunity. Well, what if she makes a bunch of things out of that cookbook, and over the course of the day, I eat them live and taste test them on stream for you guys? How cool is that? I can read the recipes and the stories of the items right out of the...
This is the next level. This is Phil's next level shill idea, dude. I won't just eat a meal on camera. I'll make a meal out of a Street Fighter cookbook and eat it on camera. Genius, brother.
Cookbook, and then we can test it live. She's already looked last night, and she looked through the cookbook, and she found at least 8 recipes she's interested in doing. Now,
not only that, but now, with this, Kat is now a kind of being directly involved in his content, you know? And I'd wager a guess that people are going to have something to say about how these meals turn out.
Obviously, she's not going to do 8 recipes for that day. We're going to probably narrow it down to like 3, okay? But still, how cool would that be that every once in a while, I go get a snack or a drink or something she made out of the cookbook, and we try it live, and I read you the story, and
then we make fun of how terrible it is.
Some of them might be great, and some of them might be absolutely terrible. What it is the cookbook takes the culture and or nationality of the fighter and makes food from that region. So, for example, Juri has Korean food. You know, Ryu has Japanese food. Guile has American-style food, you see? So that's the cool thing about it, you know. Maybe do some regional cuisines and try them live and see if they're any good. So...
You sit on a throne
That's
of
a pretty
lies.
cool event, no? Gameplay, challenging gameplay with you guys contributing to it and controlling it by voting on the characters and the games. 2 fun tier makers, and trying out, you know, some cool foods and things from the Street Fighter cookbook. And likely I'll also do a full meal that day too that I'll order out for. So, pretty cool way to hype up Street Fighter 6. No, and hold it. Oh, by the way, yes, I may be dressing up for the occasion.
This guy's going Rambo.
What I really need to do is look into it. I got to see what I can do. All right? So, this should be a very interesting event. Now, when is it? I haven't locked in the date yet. But essentially, it's going to be a Sunday. And it's going to be around the middle to late May. All right? So, if you take a look at the calendar, just as a heads up, and this is not locked in stone, you know, probably maybe like May 21st. Just saying. Probably something like that. And that way we have about less than 2 weeks till the release of Street Fighter 6 is a great way to hype up the game, right? There you go. So that's just a guess. I'm not saying it's going to be May 21st. It could be May 28th.
He got you with
before,
either the mutant
saying,
or the M.
probably around that time would be
16.
around the time it would make a lot of sense, right? No, JDTV, it's going to be on a Sunday because Saturdays is DSP versus the Internet. You see? Okay, so pretty exciting. That's coming up. Let's talk a little bit more about it as we get closer to it. I'll let you know what my wife is working on because I'm sure you guys may be asking, oh, well, what recipes is she interested in? Maybe we'll go through some of those and maybe pick some out together. So, should be fun. Should be absolutely fun. Hope that you guys will join me for it and more data on that coming soon. All right. That's about it schedule-wise. It's a very exciting, you know, schedule coming up with new releases and React events and, you know, everything coming up. I'm excited, so I hope that you guys are down for that. All right? Let's talk a little bit about game news. All right? We have a couple of things to talk about today. So, two news stories to discuss
1v1
today,
scenario
right?
here.
The first news story I would like to discuss
to the high ground.
is about Dead Island 2. Because here's a hilarious thing that I'd like to talk about, all right? So as you all know, Dead Island 2 came out on Friday. Dead Island 2 is literally exactly the game I thought it was going to be, all right? There's nothing wrong with that. If you're looking for a co-op zombie killing game where it's focused solely on co-op zombie killing, then it's a great game. Go play it and enjoy it. But the reviews have basically said exactly what I believed. It's about a 6 or 7 out of 10. There's nothing special about it. The story is not very good. It's a bunch of stupid humor. And you really need to be able to stomach stupid humor to really like the game. very repetitive, very gory, but nothing too special about it.
Literally Phil's stream. Like, how much of this shit can you stomach, dude?
All right? So I skipped it. And a lot of people have been giving me shit about skipping it. And I'm like, guys, you got to understand. This is the kind of game that if we were looking for a late night downtime stream, if we were in the middle of the summer and there was nothing going on, no new releases, nothing scheduled, and we were looking to kill time, this is the kind of game you would want to do. But for the kind of schedule I'm looking at right now, I'm already in the midst of an Elden Ring playthrough. We've got a brand new Jedi game coming out. We've got React events coming up. We got new releases coming out, literally one a week coming up. Okay? This doesn't really fit into my schedule. It's a throwaway game that you play it, you might enjoy it, but you're not going to remember it. It's not meant to be a memorable game. It's literally just meant to be kind of a mindless combat loop game, which is fine. There's a place in gaming for that, but understand that's not going to be a Game of the Year contender or a memorable experience. It's just something to do for silly fun. I'm not necessarily looking for something like that right now. I have enough chill streams going for me between Oblivion, Final Fantasy V. We're good. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking for that, okay? So what's funny is I skipped it. I'm not talking about it. You guys bring it up, and I'm like, I'm not talking about it, you know? But now people are giving me shit for skipping it. Like, you know, people give me shit for skipping every game now. So there's not much I can do about that. But what's funny is I started seeing comments pop up on my videos, on podcasts and stuff that say, oh, well, aren't you aware the game sold 1 million copies in the first 3 days and this and that and this
Yo,
and that,
big ups,
right?
random poster.
And I just shake my head and I groan and I go like this. I'm like, my God, people just don't get it. So now I have to, like, talk about it today, which is fine. But now I have to kind of, like, I'm sorry, but I kind of have to, like, put everything into perspective, which some people don't like to do. People just like to read a number and think it means anything. It's completely meaningless until you put it into reference or perspective. That's the problem. That's what people don't like to do. What does that piece of data mean in reference to reality, as opposed to just saying a piece of data? Because if you just say, Dead Island 2 sold 1 million copies in 3 days, that sounds like a lot, doesn't it? That sounds like it means something. In perspective of things, that's great, right? Right? Okay, fair enough. Now let's actually talk about reality, all right? Did Dead Island 3 sell 1 million copies? Excuse me, Dead Island 2, did it sell 1 million copies in 3 days? It did.
Why are we ranting about Dead Island?
However, what I'd like to do is actually read even more information. You ready? I'm actually going to read you even more information. You ready for this? The retail version of the game debuted at number 2 on the UK box chart.
Oh, we got a
It had
card?
a strong
Hell
launch
yeah.
on Steam with an all-time player peak count being nearly 4 times more than the first game, 24 hours after the game's release. The physical version of the game was also the 4th best-selling
Well, that
video
was a
game in
mistake.
the US for that week. The game attracted 3 million players during its first week of release. So, you heard what I just said, right?
I actually didn't.
But guess what? What I just read had nothing to do with Dead Island 2. What I just read for you was the sales numbers and information about Dying Light 2.
Oh, so you tricked us?
The game that I've been equating to this for a year. You understand? I just read to you all the information about Dying Light 2. Okay? Dying Light 2, listen to this, sold 3 million copies during its first week. 3 times more than what Dead Island 2 has sold.
Okay? So
Now,
it's a
how
different
many
game,
of
right?
us remember Dying Light 2 and say, wow, what a great game, amazing experience, Game of the Year contender, really? You see? And this is the point I'm making, is people love to take a number and throw it out there like it means something. It means nothing. Dead Island 2 has not sold nearly as many copies as Dying Light 2 did, nor is it getting as good of a reception, yet people are acting like it's some amazing game that I'm missing. It's not. It's not at all. Okay? Here's the truth. Dying Light 2 had a ton of sales. It did. It actually was a huge sales success because nothing else was going on. There had actually been a gaming drought. Dying Light 2 was the beginning of the end of that drought. But then immediately following the release of Dying Light 2 was Horizon Forbidden West, Elden Ring, and a bunch of other games. So as soon as other games started coming out, people acted like Dying Light 2 never existed. Most people who bought the game never completed it, including me. They just dropped it and never went back to it because it was a far inferior game. to everything else that was out there. But everyone ran
somebody
to
said
buy
he's
Dying
lying?
Light 2 because it was the end of that drought. That's literally exactly the situation that we are in right now with Dead Island 2. We have had a drought of games. Besides Dead Space Remake, Hogwarts Legacy, and Resident Evil 4 Remake, what other notable games have come out in 2023? And
I'm
we're
sure
at the
there's
end
some,
of April.
dude. There's got to be some. There's
It's
no
been
way
dead this year.
There's no way
So people
he's,
who are
he's on point.
desperately looking for a new game, an action game, a game to team up with people, right? This is the game. Is it a good game? No, not really. But it's still a game that's playable, it's functional, and people just want something to play for a bit until something better comes out. So that's why the game sold 1 million copies in 3 days, but it doesn't mean the game's going to have legs, nor does it mean most people are either going to beat it or even remember it after this week passes. What's going to end up happening is you're going to have Jedi Survivor, Redfall, Zelda within a 2 to 3 week period, and no one's going to remember that Dead Island 2 ever existed. But
That's
this
not
is
true.
people buy hype. I don't know why. Maybe because I've been doing this thing as a content creator for 15 years. I don't buy into hype anymore. I just don't. Give me a reason to be hyped over Dead Island 2. I looked into the game. I watched the gameplay of it. I did research. It's not an interesting game unless you're looking for a game to grind with friends and kill and chill. You know what I'm saying? It's a kill and chill game. That's literally what it is. There's no substance to it. But you guys are telling me like it's such an amazing game. It's not. Where are you even getting this from? You're just bored with the current concept of the games out there because there's nothing new and you want something to do. And the moment something better comes out, it'll be dropped and forgotten.
Yeah, Phil knows exactly what everybody wants and what everybody needs right now, dude. He's the guy. He's the guy that knows what you need.
Just like Dying Light 2. And Dying Light 2 sold 3 times more than Dead Island 2 did. These games do fill a gap, don't get me wrong. And let me tell you, this was genius level release timing. Are you aware Dead Island 2 is supposed to release in 2-3 weeks? Why do you think they bumped the release date up 2-3 weeks? Because they knew if they released it after Jedi, after Redfall, during the time period of Zelda, no one was going to buy it or play it. They absolutely knew that. This was genius marketing. Knock it back 3 weeks before everything else comes out, and now we'll sell copies, which they have. But no one's going to care about this game in a week. No one's going to care about this game in a few days. You see?
There's always some ulterior motive that he's trying to
And again,
get
I'm not
at.
trying to hate on the game. There's a place in the game industry for a game like this, for sure. But stop trying to convince people of something that's not true. The game is not a ginormous seller. It's not. It's Dying Light 2 sold 3 times as more a year ago. The game has not done anything groundbreaking. The game is not revolutionary, and it's not even that good of a game.
And he
It's
just
okay
shits
if
on
you
it,
like
bro.
a grindy style game with friends.
And he just
but
shits
stop
on
trying to
games
convince
and
people
shit.
otherwise. It ain't gonna work. All right, especially me, like telling me I should have played it. What a waste of time it would have been. I would have probably played it 2 sessions and been like, well, I have no time now to play it anymore. You know?
Is this
okay.
all
So anyway, Dying Light. Excuse me, I keep saying Dying Light 2 because I equate the two. Dead
Is
Island
this-
2. Enjoy it if you are. I hope
It's
you're
all
liking it
because
if you
somebody
bought
asked him about it,
Play it
like-
with friends, have a good time, but definitely not in the cards for me. It doesn't really even make sense for me to be considering playing it, considering my schedule and everything right now. Okay? Okay.
All because somebody asked him
The
if
other
he was
news
gonna
story I
play
have
it?
for you is a follow-up to a story I've already been talking about. There is currently a lot of controversy in the competitive Street Fighter community. Not so much in the casual community. The casual community saw the big event this week, like we all did. Remember, I live reacted to it, about the offline content of Street Fighter 6. Everyone's like, wow, this is great. The game looks like it's going to have tons of value. This is excellent, and everyone's hyped in that regard. But the competitive community is actually kind of up in arms and arguing with each other about something. And the item of contention is the fact that there was a crack for the Street Fighter 6 beta that tons of competitive players have been essentially illegally playing on PC ever since that last beta came out in December. This is the reason why Capcom has not done another beta. The rumor has it Capcom was planning on doing 3rd and 4th betas for the game and canceled plans when someone cracked the beta on PC and disseminated it around the internet. And there's been no exaggeration, apparently thousands of players, competitive players, who've been playing this game nonstop and are now have an unfair advantage in the competitive playing field. Allow me to explain what I mean, because you might not.
Yeah, they're scumbags, right?
So,
Phil?
Street Fighter 6 is not out yet.
They should all be banned for life.
And it comes out for PC, Xbox consoles, and PlayStation consoles. Okay? Good news is there's crossover between all of those. No matter what format you buy, you'll be able to play people on all the other formats. All right? They did a series of closed betas, one in October and one in December, where you had to register online, and it was just a lottery, luck of the draw. All right? And if you won the lottery, you got a code, and you could play the beta. The betas only lasted 3 days each. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. 3 days for you to essentially play these games online with a limited player base and a limited character selection. The characters were Ken, Ryu, Chun-Li, Juri, let me see here, Luke, Jamie, Guile, and I'm forgetting one character. Okay, there were 8 characters. Sorry, I forgot one of the characters. I can't remember off the top of my head. So there were 8 playable characters in this beta. Okay, now all it was online play. There was nothing else. Kimberly, that's right, the new character Kimberly. Thank you, Big Papa Phil. There was just those 8 characters. That was it. There was no offline mode. You couldn't play it offline. You had to be online waiting for matches to play it. A lot of people even had issue with that. They're like, man, I just want to sit in training mode to practice. The game wouldn't even let you do that. You had to be online to do it, and people could always challenge you when you were in training mode. So you didn't have unlimited time to sit there and practice. And again, these betas only lasted 3 days. So you had 3 limited days to play, then you're done. Completely
I think
shut
I
down,
changed my audio settings to like mono.
You might think, well, that's interesting.
What direction sounds
why was it a closed beta? Because it literally was a beta. They weren't trying to do open server testing. They just were trying to see how the game would perform online, what people's initial reactions were to the gameplay, etc., which is what the purpose of it was. It was never meant to be a widespread thing, and it also wasn't meant to be something that people could micro-analyze.
I can't even tell where that is.
And know exactly the ins and outs of the game. It was meant to be your first initial taste of the gameplay, where you can learn basics and maybe some advanced strategies, but not, oh, we've mastered these 8 characters now, and dominated the game, and we're ready to play in tournaments. That wasn't supposed to be the point of the betas. You understand? If that were the point, then they would have had an offline
That's what he would do.
Where you could have played it infinitely without having people interrupt you with matches. They would have let you play it past the 3 beta days, but that wasn't what they were going for.
Phil would arrest these people.
It was just a test and a taste. Okay? So you might say, well, that's not fair. If people got to play in the 2 betas, they got experience more than most people. True. But at the same time, it's 6 days of experience if you played nonstop. And the last beta was December. They've probably tweaked the game and improved it and changed things since then. So it doesn't really affect things that much, right? It's a very limited experience, not a giant advantage. Maybe a little advantage, but not a giant one. All right? Now, even with those betas, there was corruption. What do you mean by that? Well, it was supposed to be randomly selected players who got it. But somehow, all the notable top players of competitive Street Fighter had it. How? Because people kept giving it to them, or they were buying it from people, which was against the terms of service. No, if you got a code and you gave it away, that wasn't allowed. You were never supposed to be able to do that. It was supposed to be only for you, and if you're not going to use it, you discard the code. It said it right in the terms of service. But people gave that advantage to the top players regardless, because I hate to say it, they're ass-kissing ball suckers.
Wow,
it's always been like this in the competitive Street Fighter community. You know a notable player? Well, we're going to suck their balls. So be sure to give them every advantage and give them every piece of opportunity so that they can do well. So because they're a pseudo-celebrity, give them everything. So let's go ahead and send them the code even though they didn't earn it and get it like the lottery like everybody else. Whatever. This always has happened. It's corruption, and it's always happened in the competitive community. The entire time I was part of the competitive community, and from the 90s and 2000s, this shit always happened. Oh, we're in a tournament, and we know that this cabinet works perfectly and this one doesn't work very well. Let the top players play on the better cabinet.
That just makes sense, dude. Why would you put Steve Wiebe on a fucking Donkey Kong machine that works like garbage, dude? Wouldn't you want to put him on a better machine? It doesn't make sense.
It's always been like this. It's always, they get all the fucking advantages. It's bullshit, all right? Now, outside of that, the real problem with the beta...
Phil wants people to suck his balls,
once the beta went offline, there were different versions of it. Well,
you eat pieces of shit for breakfast?
On consoles are very limited. But when you put something on PC, you're opening it up to a lot of issues. And when they had this beta on PC, someone found a way to crack it. What that means is that they broke the time-limited portion of the beta. Now, can you play the beta online if you cracked it? No. But you can play it infinitely offline. Essentially, what you can do is make an empty lobby, an empty Battle Hub lobby, and sit there and play it infinitely by yourself in training mode or with another local partner, I guess is the way it works. So there's been people who hacked this thing, essentially, distributed it all over the internet. Thousands of competitive players have gotten access to it on PC and have been playing this thing nonstop since December. Yeah. So those 8 characters, Ryu, Ken, Guile, Kimberly, Jamie, Luke, I keep forgetting them. But anyway, those 8 characters basically are now understood from the ground up by the competitive community because people had unfair access to them. They were never supposed to have that access. Because now...
Yeah, he doesn't even compete, dude. You don't even compete. Why do you care, dude?
People know how to play with them competitively. They shouldn't have had access to them. Now they... Oh, look at this. Look at this insane combo. 80% damage combo. Well, that should have been figured out, maybe a month into the game. Not before the game's fucking out. So what ends up happening now is anyone who has a gaming PC and anyone who got access, which is pretty much anyone who wants it, can get it in the competitive fighting game community, right? Have been playing this and have mastered these 8 characters, and they will have an unfair...
That's one of the main reasons, huh, Phil? Oh, you don't have a gaming PC, so you can't do that, can you? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, I wonder if Phil had a gaming PC. I wonder if he would have done the same thing. But you can't, because you don't even have a PC, because you're whack and you're on level 1.
Competitive advantage when the game releases. Now, everyone seems to have a different opinion on this, all right? One notable Japanese player by the name of Momochi. This is a pro-level player who's won tournaments, major tournaments and everything, has come out publicly in an interview and said the following. I feel like those playing on the cracked version should be permanently banned.
Wow.
Capcom is being too soft. There are certain overseas players who have even shown the crack on stream, tweeted it out, and there are no repercussions. This is absolutely correct. Here's what's happened. Everyone in the competitive fighting
the Asian DSP
knows that the beta was cracked, and everyone knows how to get it, but Capcom has taken no official action on it whatsoever. In fact, they haven't even publicly acknowledged it, because their handling of it is, don't mention it, and hopefully it won't spread too far, and then it won't be a big deal.
Momochi is just
in
like
reality,
DSP, apparently.
That's not true. What it really comes down to, in my opinion...
Oh, I need that.
...is that really there's no way to enforce it unless you really want to change the whole emphasis of how the community works. So, let's say, for example, a notable player has outright stated on their stream, I've been playing the cracked beta and I mastered these characters because of it. How are you going to ban them from the Street Fighter community? First of all, Capcom doesn't even run the tournaments besides Capcom Pro Tour. So how would you ban them from any other tournaments? You don't run them. You're not even responsible for them, right?
True.
What are you going to do? Try to seek out any online accounts that are tied to that pro player on
what an idiot,
PlayStation
Phil, right?
Network or PC or Xbox and ban those accounts from playing Street Fighter Online? What's to stop them from just making another account?
True.
Right? So essentially what's happened is Capcom created a monster. And sadly, they don't have a way to control the monster.
Come
it's like
on,
they made
bro.
Frankenstein, but they don't have a failsafe.
Your aim is not that good, dude.
There really is no possible way to enforce a ban for people who are doing this, even though a lot of people agree this has been a cheating tactic. How is it fair that you have had unlimited access to a game that no one should have access to for 4+ months, and now you're going to know the ins and outs of 8 fucking characters of the game at launch? And it would be one thing if you're just playing the game casually, but there's going to be competitive tournaments. There's going to be $1 million on the line in the Capcom Pro Tour this year for Street Fighter 6. And now people have an unfair advantage. How is that fair? Right? It's not. It's completely ridiculous. It's already problems and the game's not out yet. Now, the funny part about this is there's another part of the Street Fighter community that are feeling differently. Allow me to explain. All right? So I gotta now go back to my roots. Look how nice Jasper looks. Nice close up here on camera.
Look at that rare shot of Jasper.
I need to go back to my roots as a competitive player back in the 90s and the early 2000s. because things
That's
were
a
very
rare
different
shot.
back then.
Look at the
Back
little
before
kitty.
the games were all on console and worldwide available, video games like Street Fighter were arcade only. All right? And then you would later on be lucky to get a home port that was even close to being as good as the arcade version, right? The home ports were typically very inferior to the arcade versions of the games. But there was always an unfair advantage. This is very true. There was always an unfair advantage. However, the unfair advantage was always in favor of the Japanese. Okay? Why? Now, Jasper's sitting on my lap again. Jasper, I'm sorry, you can't sit on my lap during the podcast. The third time I got to tell him. Why? Well, because Capcom is a Japanese company.
Oh, a little taste of your own
Capcom
medicine there, buddy.
would make these games.
There you go.
And play test
Yeah.
them in Japan. You'd go to Japanese
like that?
arcades, and these games would be in Japanese arcades first before they ever went international. So the Japanese competitive players would get to play these games months in advance, sometimes a year in advance. Sometimes these games would release in Japanese arcades full-fledged 6 to 8 months before the international release, and the Japanese players had almost a year advantage on the rest of the world. Okay? So here's the deal. Back then, it wasn't that big of a deal because there wasn't that much international competition. There really wasn't online tournaments back then. They didn't exist. If you wanted to go to a tournament, you had to fly across the globe. Well, realistically, how many people do you think flew from Japan to the U.S. or U.S. to Japan for these kind of tournaments? Especially when there wasn't big money on the line, because back then, there was no sponsorships, no teams, no partnerships. You didn't make money playing competitive Street Fighter. So Japan always had a competitive advantage back then. I remember a Japanese player, some of the few of them that would come to EVO, would completely dominate every game they played. Like literally every fucking game. Because they had an advantage, because they've been playing the games much longer at a competitive rate. They knew a higher level of gameplay than most of the Americans, because they had that unfair time advantage. Okay? So, the argument now amongst some of these people in the competitive fighting game community is, oh, you see, well, back in the day, the Japanese always had the advantage, and no one said anything. But now, the tables have turned. Now, we cracked the beta, we have the advantage, but now all of a sudden, everyone's up in arms about it. Well, isn't that a double standard? No! It's not a double standard. The 90s and early 2000s, the arcade culture is not the same as modern-day competitive fighting games. There was no giant-scale tournaments, no giant prizes to be had, no online play. None of what people are trying to do to justify this justifies it. It's outright wrong, legally and morally and competitively, in 3 completely different ways. Getting this advantage is not right. There's no way you can actually justify doing what these people are doing. They just want to cheat to get ahead. And that's
not
sad.
true.
But that's the mentality of the fighting game community, ladies and gentlemen. Ever since I was part of it, I saw people getting...
Phil, it's not fair to lump everyone together and say that that's what everybody does, what everybody wants, dude. I think that's unfair, dude.
Unfair advantages. Again, top player shows up late to the tournament, but doesn't get disqualified. Instead, everyone who's in their bracket has to wait for them to show up, and then they get to play their matches whenever they feel like. Top player gets to play on the one great working cabinet, while everyone else has to play on shoddy cabinets that don't work half the time. Huh? Top players come in, and their eyes are completely fucking dilated. Why? Because they're on performance-enhancing drugs, and no one tests for that shit. So they're all on them, and they're going, they're flying around, you know what I mean, doing crazy reactions and shit. Why do they have that? Right? Top player literally has their entire life financed by someone. So,
bro, listen to this fucking guy, dude. Phil, it's not hard. You just go to the doctor and ask them for fucking Adderall, dude. Like, it's really not hard. You could do the same thing. You have the same options, Phil. And I don't think it's fair to be hating on people for their medical conditions. You know, someone who has said in the past how much they hate when people make fun of medical conditions, you know. That's kind of fucked up, man.
they can go to every tournament, and that's their life. I couldn't tell you how many top players back in the day were literally at the big East Coast tournament, the big Texas tournament, the big Chicago tournament, the big California tournament, the big other Midwest tournament. Wait a minute. What, don't you have a life? Don't you have a job? Don't you go to school? Oh, no, my life is I travel. I play Street Fighter. How? Who the fuck is paying for this? Because I have a life. I can't.
Oh, Phil has a life. Yeah, according to Phil, if you have a prescription, if you have ADHD and you take Adderall, sorry, you're not allowed to play video games competitively. According to Phil Burnell, you're just, sorry, that's not allowed. What, bro? If they did that, literally say goodbye to like every competitive gamer, like not everyone, but like seriously, how many people do you think are popping addies that play video games competitively?
Can't do what you're doing.
Probably a lot.
So that's an unfair advantage. And this was very rampant back in the day. Back when I used to be a tournament player, this was well known. There was a group of like 20, 30 players who were at every fucking tournament, had every advantage, and kissed each other's butt and circle jerked each other. Yes, a lot of notable players you know today are in that group. It's always been like this. It's one of the major reasons why competitive fighting games are annoying and really unfair. It's always been this elitist group of unfair advantage. Dude, and it's bullshit. So now what's happened is we're continuing that forward. It's like, so now it's not just the 20, 30 top players. Now it's the elitist group who had gaming PCs now get that advantage, right? It's like, so it's just going to continue. And then people...
Again, dude. Again with the fucking gaming PC. He's so jealous that he doesn't have a fucking gaming PC, dude. He should have taken that RTU deal, Phil.
People say to me, well, Phil, would you ever like to get back into the competitive fighting game community? Well, gee, let me think about this for a second. Let me just really seriously think about how much fun it would be to try to get a fair advantage against all these people who take every opportunity. No! I don't want to get back into the competitive fighting game community. This is exactly why. This is literally the reason why. Because every time you think that you have a chance, you could have a fair shake, you get slapped down. It's remarkable that I ever did as well as I did in the competitive fighting game community. Because I had no community support. I didn't have any team of people supporting me back in the day when I was...
Drug testing and lifetime bans for the FGC.
Placing EVO. When I went to EVO and I placed 4th place, literally I went by my fucking self. I didn't have anyone supporting me or nothing, I didn't have any advantage whatsoever. That's why it's hilarious when you see my tournament results and people say, oh, it doesn't mean nothing. Literally, it means everything. I wasn't a known top player. I had 0 advantage over anyone, and I kicked everyone's ass. If anything, that should be the case that pointed to say, oh my God, as opposed to,
but you
same
didn't.
same guy over the years.
You didn't win, did he?
But people don't want to look at that shit. It's always been like this. So no. Street Fighter 6, here's how I approach it, okay? Here's what I think. It's going to be a great game. It certainly
looks
you
thought it was sick. Where was that guy?
Better than Street Fighter 5. They're doing all the right things.
He?
They've got game modes in that game that are going to appeal to the casual player and to the competitive, or both. For me, I'm kind of both. I'm going to definitely try to learn the characters competitively and play them online, but at the same time, I'm going to enjoy the game offline casually. I maybe like to do sessions of the game over time. Maybe this will be my fighting game that I play over time casually. Once a week we do a stream of fighting games, and this will be it, right? But at the very same time, when already the game's not even out yet, and we have these kind of controversies, people literally cheating to have a 4+ month advantage on everyone else in the competitive scene, do you think I give a shit about competitive Street Fighter? I'd be a fucking moron. I really would be. Who the hell wants to be part of a corrupted community like that? Why would I want to be a part of that? Are you out of your mind? You're already setting yourself up for failure and drama if you're trying to be part of that.
Damn, this guy's sick.
Why would you care? It's just going to get worse when big money's on the line. This is the shit that happens. Dude, it's going to get worse and worse. You're going to hear all kinds of horror stories. I'm telling you. So here's how I'm going to cover it. I'm going to play it for myself at home. I am going to play it online competitively. I'll try to learn the characters. But you're not going to see me attending tournaments or caring about my...
He's not going to play it on his own. Never. Ever, ever, ever. He will never play a game off stream. Never.
Competitive.
Except WWE Champions. That's the only exception.
Oh my God, look at Phil's ranked placings online. I don't give a fuck. I'm just going to play it and enjoy it. I hope you enjoy the footage I put out of it. Like I said, we could maybe do community nights where we have people who are, members of the community. Maybe we'll make a clan, the DSP clan or whatever, DSP gaming clan, and people are under it.
Oh my
We do
God, no.
lobbies where we
I gotta
play each
cover
other,
this-
we
this
enjoy
window
stuff
up.
like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm down for that. I'm down for enjoying the game for what it is. But please, don't think for a moment that I have any aspirations of caring about this game at a competitive level. There's no point. I've been there, done that. I've been through that grind. I've been through those levels of frustration, unfair advantage, and disappointment. There's just no reason for someone in their right fucking mind to care that much about it. It's not going to be fair. It's going to be bullshit. There's going to be corruption. There's going to be people cheating. I've been there, done that in my life. I have no reason to want to do that shit. I'm just going to enjoy the game casually at home and cover it for you guys.
Corruption,
and hopefully put out
dude.
a lot of
There's
content of it
corruption.
that you like. If you like the game, hopefully you'll join me when we play it together and stuff. And that's where it ends for me. I'm very much still going to be a variety content creator. I'm still going to be making other playthroughs and things. I'm still going to be doing React content. I have no intentions of going so hardcore into this game that now I get to a competitive level and play it in a tournament or anything like that. There's no point. There's literally no fucking point. When already we're not even in the game's release yet and people have cheated for 4 months, why bother, right? And I've already said, I played this game on the Xbox. And if you didn't notice, when we were playing the beta,
Cheated
more
for
often than
4
not, I was
months.
playing against players who were on PC. And it was really weird, all right? Really weird. Because for some weird reason, every time I played someone on PC, they were doing insanely huge combos, insanely ridiculous reactions, but felt like I was playing in underwater, like slow motion. Because what's happening is, PC players are getting a huge advantage. They have very little input delay, and they're getting the best connections, while the console players have more input delay and are having worse connections. But it's crossplay. So you're forced to play against them with an unfair advantage. And there's nothing you can do about it right now. Maybe
That's right. No, you can do something. Buy a PC. How about that?
when the game fully releases, they'll have things to fix that. Right now, there's nothing. And that's what I found. More often than not, when I was playing someone that said I was on PC and I'm on Xbox, why is it that I can't really react to what they're doing, but they're insane reactions to everything I do, right? So, that's what I mean. I'm going to play it casually. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to take the same attitude I had with Street Fighter 4, all right? If I like it, then what I'll do is I'll do some series where maybe I try to do a whole stream where I play with one character and try to get good with that character. And then maybe I'll do variety streams where I switch between characters. But I'll have Madness series, and we'll maybe have weekly sessions where we get together and we play online together, which would be nice to have a lobby of regulars who come in and want to play the game. And I am going to do the offline content. I'm going to be doing the single player mode, and enjoying that. But I don't care. Don't ask me to play in a tournament. Don't ask me about what I think about the competitive. I don't give a fuck. I really don't. I'm not going to. I'm already completely turned off by this whole situation of people cheating and Capcom literally saying, well. It's like, well, Capcom, why didn't you use your fucking brain? You know that everything on PC always gets hacked. Everything on PC always gets ripped and stolen. Why the fuck did you make a PC beta to begin with? Like, it really takes a brain.
Because PC is superior, Phil, to stupid console.
To think that maybe people on PC would try to do something, right? I mean, wow, it's just rocket science. So,
wait, why would you? What do you mean, people on PC? What are you generalizing people who use PCs, dude? Saying that we all, oh, what a surprise, PC users hack some shit. I didn't hack nothing. I don't even play Street Fighter, Phil. Why are you putting me in this group?
So, it's their own fault. And now, they really have no, like I said, how do you ban a player who did it? I understand. I don't think it's enforceable. Even if you knew, even if someone had a whole stream about it saying, look, I'm playing the rip, I'm playing the crack. There's no way you could keep them on a competitive play. They're going to find a way in anyway. Capcom doesn't even own the tournament circuit. They own one portion of it, the Capcom Cup. That's it. Or Capcom Pro Tour, I guess I should say. Everything else is independently run. So, it's not like these independent tournaments are reliant on sponsorship from Capcom. They're not. So, it's not like Capcom has any control over them. So, people are just going to do what they want. There's no enforcing it, right? Okay.
Some dent will buy it.
Well, guys, I'm still gonna enjoy it. I'm excited for my hype event to hype up Street Fighter 6 in May. I'm excited to cover the game for you guys at a capacity, and I hope that you guys will check out my content of it. But understand that it's going to be a more casual approach. It's not going to be a hardcore, oh my god, here's a top level. Like, for example, some people are already asking me, Phil, will you teach us how to play? Will you do tutorials? No. I have no interest in doing that. I'm not a competitive player. I'm not planning to be competitive. I want to enjoy the game, but I don't think I'm ever going to want to understand it at the highest level where I'm going to be able to sit here and do a tutorial for you and teach you how to do stuff. That's really not what I'm about at this point in my life as a content creator, you know? Maybe at one point, but not anymore. So, there you go. All right? If you're down for that, join me for Street Fighter 6. It's going to be a wild time, and there's going to be a lot of coverage of it on this channel. But please understand, this is not going to be something that's going to be high-level tournament play. It was never that with Street Fighter 4 either. And I got very well known for Street Fighter 4, you know, back in the day, some 14 years ago, for being a casual player. The guy who did the Madness series of random characters and, you know, yelled and swore at the online laggy play and stuff like
Madness
that.
Madness of Minaj.
That's, again, what I'm going to be
Madness
all about with this one.
of DJ.
Hey, look, Phil goes on a crazy tear and gets 500 online wins in a row without losing. And Phil enters an online tournament and Phil at a tournament placing. It's I don't care. I just want to enjoy the game and be left alone, essentially, by the competitive community that does everything it can to cheat. All right? I've had enough of their shit in my life. I don't need to get back into that drama. Okay?
Kind of cheater.
Okay. All right. Story done. That's what I had to say. Okay? So there you go. And I hope that makes sense to you. Fair enough? Okay. Let us now get to shoutouts. Sound good? No, I'm not blacklisting pro players I face online. The thing is, when you play online, it's random. You play a player online randomly, play him. That's fine. I'm game for any match against anybody. I don't care. Just understand, because here's the thing that idiots do. They try to make drama out of it. Like, for example, when I was playing the beta, I played against 2 pro players. One was a former EVO champion. Actually, they both were. They were both former EVO champions. Vizant, and who was the other guy that I played? The guy who was an Marvel vs. Capcom 3 champion, right? I forgot his name off the top of my head. Chris G. Thank you. It was Chris G. and Vizant I played, right? Now, when I played Chris G, it was my first time playing the game. It was obvious Chris G had been playing it a lot, and he was kicking my ass with Jamie. I had never even seen the character before. So it was like 10-0 in his favor. The last match, I think, was kind of close. But
excuses,
so I was like, wow, that's cool.
Excuses.
I got to see Jamie. I see what he's capable of. He seems pretty strong. And at the end, I actually even said to the guy, you know, good gameplay and everything. You know, I'm trying to learn the character. Really crazy how that low medium kick seemed to stuff the vast majority of things. And I was basically like, you know, how did you do that or whatever? But then people made videos about it. Oh my God, look, Phil loses 10-0 to Chris G. Yeah, he's an EVO champion. He's someone who's been playing Street Fighter V actively. I didn't play the game at all in the last, like, 5 years. I'm trying to learn the basics of the game. This guy knew what he was doing. He kicked my ass, right? The match that I had against Vizant was much better. I still lost, but it was a very close match, and it was fun, and it was back and forth, and it was very competitive, and we actually respect each other. I mean, not saying that Chris G doesn't respect me, and I don't respect him. I'm just saying, this is a guy who I used to play back in the day in tournaments, and it was a really good match. I thought that was really well done on both ends. It made us both kind of look good, which is surprising, because I don't think either of us are very good at the game. We didn't really know what we were doing. But I thought it was a great match, right? So that's what I mean. If I play a pro player, I'm not going to say, oh, look, a pro player pulled a cord. No, that's ridiculous. I'll play anyone. But I'm not going to care if I win or lose. It doesn't mean anything if I beat the player, and it doesn't mean anything if I lose. It's just online play. Just like everything else in these games. It's just online play. It's meant to be fun. It's meant to be silly. I don't take it seriously. I'm not going to take it seriously. You know, I don't give a shit. Okay. All right, guys. So all that being said, let's get to shout-outs, shall we? I think we'll get to shout-outs today. Okay. Cool. All right. Let's see here. So we start off today with Jason.
Yeah, he was like
Jason
making fun of him, right?
A super chat and said, Jasper is like my meerkat. He always likes the pets. Yes, Jasper with the triple pets today, jumping on my lap. He's on the
meerkat
floor,
reference there. Big ups,
I hope he doesn't
Meerkat.
freak out. Yesterday, he was very jumpy. Yesterday, he was like, he kept thinking things were going on in the house. There was nothing going on. Like, literally, there was nothing going on at all. Oops. So I don't know why he was all, like, jumpy about it. But hopefully he'll be a little bit more relaxed today in the office, I hope. Let's see here. So, I have a couple people here who are, like, spin-off names of other people. If I'd seen these when they happened, I probably would have, like, banned them, but I'm just going to ignore them. Rev Gamer did a super chat, and he's trying to talk to Rich from Review Tech USA, who's not here. So, I don't know why he's doing that. But thanks, Rev Gamer, I guess, for the super chat. But this is not Rich's stream, just so you know. He's not here. He's not paying attention. You're wasting your time. Okay, then.
Yeah, but the thing about it is, Phil, YouTube made it so that if anybody tags you now, if anybody tags you anywhere in YouTube, even if you're not there, YouTube will tell you. So, Rich will know about it. He'll see it.
Let's see here. I received a $2 tip. This is our first tip of the day. So someone tipped me $2. It's an anonymous tip. They're saying, I'm not saying your criticism of Dead Island is wrong or right. Isn't judging something before you give it a try something you've been lobbying against? It's just an honest question. There's a difference between being ignorant or actually doing research before you formulate an opinion. All right? Here's a case of ignorance. I used to shit all over Minecraft like a moron. I never wanted to try Minecraft. I thought it looked like a kiddie game. My understanding is that it was a kiddie game. I didn't ever play it.
Big ups,
I just said, I don't like how it looks. Sounds like a piece of crap. Oh, you're building all day, right? And like, I was an idiot. I did no research whatsoever on what the real game was. All right? And that's my fault.
I've been
for some reason, I let myself get caught up in this like online hate towards the game. I think, you know what I think it really was, looking back now, 10 years ago?
I've been seeing you for a while, dude.
The game, sadly, I really felt
you in,
had undue popularity. Listen, I now understand why Minecraft is good, because I played it, and we'll talk about that in a moment. But when it got so virally popular, Minecraft literally showed up everywhere, right? It was on every marketplace, everywhere online, trying to push it down your throat. Everyone wanted me to play it, and I was like, no, I don't want to play it. You go to the store, and there were Minecraft figures, Minecraft toys, Minecraft tie-ins. Everywhere you went was Minecraft, Minecraft, Minecraft. It was all anyone was talking about everywhere.
Like
I think what happens is it's oversaturation.
Well,
when there's oversaturation, then you tend to turn against something. So maybe if it hadn't been so overly popular, I would have given it a shot and been fair to it. But instead, I saw so much undue popularity get given to it that I
know you're still there.
That's how I was back in the day. I was Mr. Contrary.
I haven't been there in a while.
Right? If someone liked something, I had to find a way to shit on it. And that was something that actually gave me a modicum of popularity. People liked the fact that I was kind of not, I always went against the grain. I didn't follow fads and trends. I was kind of a guy who always kind of said the opposite, right? So that's how it was, all right? Now, today, I am a very different kind of person. I do my best to do research before I speak. If I don't have that proper research or knowledge, I try not to crap on something or say something negative about something, because I realize when you say something out of turn like that, uneducated, you can actually formulate people's opinions and make unfair opinions about something, right? You can't. And that's not fair. It's just not. It's stupid. And I know that I have a following, and the things that I say mean something. I try to be more responsible now with what I say, because if I say something that I feel is unfair or not educated on, again, I have a following that listens to me and trusts my opinions. Back then, I didn't give a shit. I thought, this whole thing's a joke. Who cares? Say whatever you want. Today, I have a much different mindset over a decade later. All right? So, when it comes to Dead Island 2, this is a game that I did research on. I told everyone I would wait and see. When finally the footage of the game was hitting the internet, I watched the footage, I looked at reviews, and I judged from an educated standpoint. This is not me standing here like an idiot saying, oh, it just looks like shit, and I didn't play it, I didn't look into it. I did research on it to determine if it was going to be something that was going to work for my streams. The problem is, sadly, again, people think the world is black and white and things are unchanging.
So because I don't want to play something today and I say something negative about it, that must mean that it's the same as when Phil crapped on Minecraft a decade ago. No, it's not. It's completely different now. I've changed my methodology of the way that I...
Yo, he already knows people are gonna fucking bring it up, dude. I love that.
do and say things. I don't want to crap on stuff unfairly. You understand? But today, I'm a very different person.
He's like, I already know that you're going to bring up the fact that I crapped on Minecraft 10 years ago. You are correct, sir. You are correct.
Than I was 10, 12 years ago. 10, 12 years ago, I wasn't a live streamer. I didn't have a set schedule. I didn't have React content. I wasn't being pulled in a million directions by my viewers to do all this kind of stuff. It was every day I wake up, I play games, record, upload. Go out and eat, come back, record, upload. Drink, which was awful that I did that, but I did it every night. Pass out, wake up the next day, play games, record, upload. Go eat, play games, record, upload. Like, this was my life.
Solid schedule.
This was my life for 2011, 2012, 2013, until I basically became a full-time streamer around mid-2013, even into 2014, and then it was a little different when I moved. Cool. But this was my life. And obviously that's not me anymore, right? As you know. I've definitely changed for the better. I have a set schedule now of streaming that you guys, enjoy or depend on. People say I'm one of the most dependable content creators there are. I stick to my schedule. I stick to my guns. I put out the content I say I'm going to put out for the most part, right? And that because of that, I have to make intelligent decisions. I can't just say, oh, I'm going to literally play every game and see if it's good before I say if I'm going to play it or not. No, how could I possibly do that? It's just not possible. I don't have money to do that. I don't have time to do that. I have to make intelligent, informed decisions based on the information available to me. You understand? And if that means even waiting till the game comes out and hearing the community, the gaming community's opinions on the game before I make a decision. Like Dead Island 2, very much so, if you guys had played it on Friday or Saturday and said, Phil, you have no idea. This game is way better than what the critics said. It's blowing us away. You're missing out on a Game of the Year contender by you really missing out. Play it. I would have played it. That didn't happen. At all. Pretty much people played it. It's like, yeah, it's exactly what people said. I'm having a blast with it because I'm playing it with friends, but I see why Phil wouldn't like it or doesn't have time for it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm a very much a person open to suggestion and criticism now, where back in the day I wasn't. Back in the day, so many people said, well, if you don't like Minecraft, play it and then judge it. And I said, no, I'm not going to play a kiddie game. I'm not going to waste my time. That was a stupid thing to say and a bad way to act. Today, I don't do that anymore. If you enjoy Dead Island, then enjoy it. But I'm giving you the rational reasons why it doesn't fit into my content and why I'm not interested in it. If you don't respect those reasons, then I can't help you. It seems like there's just a rabid group of people who are like fans of this game who want to see me play it, and they're upset I'm not playing it. But I've explained to you why it doesn't fit into what I'm doing, why I don't have time to play it, why it would be something I play once and probably won't like.
Respect my authority.
Throw all that away, we still want to see him play it. Well, then I can't help you. I can't. There's no hypocrisy here. There's a it's not, the world is not black and white. Just because I've made bad decisions and judgments in the past about games doesn't mean that today I'm doing the same thing. Just because in the past I said don't trust any reviewer doesn't mean that in the present that's the case. But people think that. They think that everything I've ever said is absolute. That is an infantile mentality. That there's good and bad, black and white, heroes and villains. You said this once, you said it forever. Your opinion can never change. You can never grow as a person. You can never evolve. What kind of a way is that to go through life? So if you ever make a mistake, you can never improve from the mistake? The fuck are you talking about?
Dude, he's been going hard on this topic past couple days. Like, he's always super hard on, like, giving people second chances, and he always thinks like someone deserves a second chance, a third chance, a fourth chance. Someone can always change, for the better, and it's so glaringly, blatantly obvious why he goes so hard on this topic. But yeah, I don't know. I just think it's funny.
It's kind of like how I felt I was treated in that Side Scrollers interview. They keep bringing shit up from my past, and I explained to them, that was the old me. I'm changing. I'm evolving. I'm different. Watch my content from today. No, you said that a million times. Yeah, because it's true. But you don't want to give the person a chance. Instead, you just want to sit here and crap like the rest of the internet. It's not fair. That's not a mature way to go through life, because everyone gets judged, right? Everyone has the right to make mistakes, grow from them, and improve. So just because I treated games unfairly in the past doesn't mean I'm going to continue to do that in the future. I'm going to do research. Oh, but you're not supposed to do research because you're not supposed to trust every reviewer. Well, you're right. I've said that in the past. That doesn't mean that's the case in everything. But again, why do you think that the world is absolute? Right? I don't get this. You know, there's an air of subjectivity, and there's an air of, you have to judge things on the fly as things change and culture change. And me, I change as a person, and the content I put out changes, right? I don't get this. This really, it's an infantile, immature mentality. It was like this once, it's like this forever. No, things change for the better. And it's time to grow up and understand that. Anyone who doesn't get that, it's time. Open your eyes and look around you. The world ain't the same that it was 10, 12 years ago. It's a very different world we live in now. Time to realize that. Time to stop living in the past. Okay?
Phil's the only one here living in the past, dude. He really doesn't understand that, like, the reason that other people still talk about it is because he still reacts to it. Like, that's the main thing that's like literally the only qualification. One of the only qualifications to be a lolcow, right? Like, he's just, oh my God, dude. He has no concept of, like, if you give it attention, you're giving it power. Like, none of these people can understand this shit. It's baffling to me.
Okay. We still got some time. For anyone else who wants to talk, ask me questions, go right ahead.
I can't.
Is it safe to assume I won't play Diablo 4 because it's an MMO?
I can't talk,
Varda,
Phil,
here's
because
the
I'm
thing.
not subscribed.
I'm really on the fence about Diablo 4. Here's the thing. I love Diablo 1 and 2. These are games that I played in the 90s. I got addicted to play. Diablo 2 was I played it for like a year straight. I loved Diablo 2. I loved it. Diablo 2, StarCraft.
A year straight? You played Diablo 2 for a year straight. Bro, if you only played Diablo 2 for a year, you're an amateur, bro. Bro, I played that game for like over 10 years, dog. Come on.
Age of Empires, Unreal, and Unreal Tournament series, stuff like that.
Fucking Diablo poser,
I played the
dude.
shit out of them back.
I played Diablo 2 for a year.
I was gung-ho for playing Diablo 3 when I was a content creator on YouTube. And I did, and people fucking hated it, man. I thought that it was inferior to Diablo 2. I didn't think Diablo 3 was nearly as good as Diablo 2. All right? I really didn't feel that.
A year is like nothing in Diablo time, dude.
Game. I didn't feel like it caught on and that people really were getting into it as much. Like Diablo 2, you get hooked right away. It's this gameplay loop, right? I didn't get that with Diablo 3 at all. And my
he literally just he just regurgitates what he thinks the most popular opinion is. Honestly, that's what he does.
Audience didn't enjoy it either. They were bored with it, and I actually forced my way through playing it, despite the fact that my audience was telling me it's boring. Don't play it. I still kept going. So here we are, over a decade later, and I'm like, now Diablo 4 is coming out. Do I play it? Do I not? I'm okay with playing it, but I feel like I might be disappointed again. I don't know, and you guys might be disappointed. I don't know. You tell me. I really feel like with the games coming out during that time frame, Street Fighter 6 is definitely going to be my focus, and maybe Diablo would be the game that I wedge in between, for variety purposes. But I don't see myself going crazy and playing Diablo 4 hardcore for weeks and getting into it like a lot of people will. I know there's going to be people who are going to go crazy for it. I don't really see that happening since I'm so far removed from that game franchise and everything. But, I'm not against it at all. It's just kind of like I know I'm going to be way more into and hyped for Street Fighter at that time coming out just a few days before. So, there you go. Do I think if I played Minecraft back when it came out, I would have been a Minecraft YouTuber? No, because that's not who I was. I was always a variety guy. I never was, I'm just going to sit here and play one game and focus on one game and make content on one game. I mean, probably the game I made the most content of over the years was Street Fighter. But even then, when I was playing Street Fighter 4, I wanted to continuously play other games and things, even though
The reason that Phil is a variety streamer is because he's scared that if he plays one game, he'll get pigeonholed, and then if the game dies, his audience will die. Which, I mean, it's a valid concern, but he's just scared that of losing money. Basically, he doesn't want to risk But I think he does it to like a detriment to himself, to like where he's jumping too much. He's this game, that game, this game, that game, this game, new game every fucking week. Like, well, then he'll get stuck on a game for like 6 months. I don't know.
Fighter 4 was kind of the go-to that I would go back to get views. I would still want to do the variety stuff. That's how I've become, is a guy who plays a lot, and because of that, that's why I don't get burnt out, and that's why I think like my content could always be considered as kind of fresh, because you never know what I'm going to be playing. One day I'm playing an old school RPG, the next day I'm playing a fighting game, the next day I'm playing a competitive first-person shooter, and then I'm playing Final Fantasy.
Like, he can't make everyone happy, Jax Raxor left after Street Fighter, that's because that's all he wants to watch is fighting games, and that's. Look at that free. Wait, hold up. Look at this freeze frame. I need to copy this. Hold on. Oh my god.
Fantasy 16. Right? Holy shit. Right? And that's the cool thing about being a content creator. I never really would have wanted to settle down and only make that one style. There were a ton of content creators who just made Minecraft content. Tons of them. They capitalized, they banked on it, they went whole headfirst into it, and they got viral YouTube channels because of it.
And what happened?
Good on them. And some of them, now they run successful businesses that don't even have anything to do with Minecraft anymore because of the money they made on Minecraft. Good on them. But that's just never been me. I would have gotten incredibly bored if I just focused on the one thing, I feel. So. Jade, what's going on? Good to see you. Charles says, what character did you like in Diablo 2? I recall playing multiple characters, but it's been so long I can't remember. I know, I swear there was a class with Dark Magic. Was it a Necromancer class? Something like that, but I remember also being a melee build at one point.
Dark Magic?
But I can't remember. It's been so long ago, I really don't recall.
You're full of shit! You don't remember your class in Diablo 2? Dude. You're a fucking liar.
King Gabriel says you played Callisto Protocol launch despite a huge number of negative reviews. Why didn't Dead Island get the same treatment? Number one,
he never played the game, dude. He never fucking played it.
It was the newest survival horror game.
I played Diablo 2 for a whole year.
Number 2, it fit perfectly into my schedule, and there was nothing else going on.
Liar, melee build, melee, yeah. So safe choice, safe guess.
Island, well,
safe guess.
I've already been there, done that. Didn't even really like the game. The only reason I liked the original playthrough was because of co-op. I played the pseudo sequel Riptide and didn't like it, so I'm not really that excited for Dead Island.
He said, wasn't there a necromancer? Oh my god, dude.
Island 2. In addition, it doesn't fit into my schedule right now for the kind of game it is. There's your answer. Completely night and day situations.
I fuck with the rogue, personally. Put a wind force on me and I'm Gucci.
Oh my god, I get the most random questions. First of all, did Empire Arcadia get better treatment at tournaments? I find them pretty cringe. I don't necessarily think that anyone got better treatment at a tournament for being in Empire Arcadia, but if they were a prominent player who was known to be a top tournament placer, a lot of tournaments would just treat them.
I don't know if they're really podcasts, but yes, he does this 6 times a week.
Differently and give them an unfair advantage. That very much was true. I still remember when I ran tournaments, I would give no one an unfair advantage. Literally no one. Even if you were my friend and you showed up late, you're disqualified. You have to be at the tournament on time. And you have top players showing up late.
It sounds good to be DSP's. Maybe that's why he doesn't have friends. Because he treats them like shit. I don't care if you're my friend. You're disqualified. Fuck you, you piece of shit. You piece of you piece of human fecal matter.
Sorry, you're disqualified. Or I'll start you in the
Sorry,
losers bracket.
you suck.
Because you showed up late. Everyone else already played their first round match. It's your fault. And people didn't like that. Oh my God, Phil's not doing what everyone else does. Yeah, because I'm fair. I'm not going to give everyone an unfair advantage just because you're
the only fair one, dude.
And everyone did it. Literally, everyone did it back in the day. No one was immune to this. No one. Every tournament organizer was doing it. Because in their mindset, if we don't do that, then the top players won't come to our tournaments, and therefore our tournaments won't get the notoriety because people won't want to go to a tournament where all the top players are boycotting it. So it was kind of like this, almost like a weird blackmail circle. I scratch your back, you scratch mine. If I don't scratch your back, then you won't come, and therefore people will say my tournament sucks.
Blackmail circle.
It's pretty messed up. That's how it was back then.
Well, sounds like you were knee deep in that shit.
Do I anticipate having a winning record in Street Fighter 6? Likely initially. This is what happens with every fighting game, okay? Initially, within the first couple of weeks, just my prerequisite knowledge of how Street Fighter plays, and yes, admittedly, the fact that I did play the beta a little bit, will probably give me a little bit of an advantage. So in the early weeks, maybe week 1, week 2, I might win more than I lose. But what's going to happen is I'm going to rank up. And the more I rank up, now we're going to get into try-hard territory, which means people who are literally only playing the game to win. They're only playing one main character. They're not even trying variety of other characters. They just play their one main, and they've tried to hyper-focus on winning by any means necessary, right? Oh. No variety, no fun. And once you get to that point...
No chill, no fun,
you're like, well,
no variety.
Now is it really going to be fun for someone who's not trying to be as hardcore as them? And the answer is probably not. What'll end up happening is you'll get to a certain point. Remember, with Street Fighter 6, they're doing something different. Each character has their own ranking point system.
How is he not seeing you?
So let's say, for example, I play with Ryu for a week. I get really good. But I hit a wall. I can't beat anyone anymore because I'm only playing better players. If I now pick Jury, well, it starts the rankings over. So I start from the bottom again, which is good because now you get to play lower class players and level up again until you get to the point where you hit that wall again. Likely that's what's going to happen with me. I'll play with characters for a bit. I'll switch between them. So I'm never going to get high rank because I'm going to be trying Honda, Blanca, Zangief, Manon, Marissa, Lily, Ryu, Ken, Guile. You know, switching. I'll be switching. I'm never going to play enough with one character to get high ranked with them, you see? But then, eventually, within a couple weeks, I will. And then that's what's going to happen is, boom, you hit the wall, and now it's going to be, well, now it's not going to be as fun to play anymore. Because it's all fucking tryhards who are just, I want to be a top-level player. Watch this. Okay.
Well, fighting games are very competitive,
that's how it works. We'll see what happens. So I would say, probably the first week, I'll probably get a bunch of wins. And then after that, it'll tank. Depends.
People are playing to win, yeah. It's not like...
Did I ever spend any time with Virtua Fighter? No. The most I ever spent with Virtua Fighter was, 2 years ago?
I mean, when do you really casually play Street Fighter? Like, it's not like a really casual, chill... Fighting games are not really chill, dude.
When it was available on, PlayStation Plus, and I played it for, that month. And even then, the same thing happened. So I was playing it at a lower level. I didn't understand it. I started learning the gameplay elements. I started mastering certain moves and combos and techniques. And I hit a wall. I hit a wall where unless I learned the timing to basically parry and push away all the moves in the game, I was never going to win a match. Literally everyone I was playing was just dodging and pushing everything away. And I was like, well, I'm never, unless I really hardcore play this game a ton and practice, I'll never get to a level where I'll keep winning anymore. And especially when you're playing a game like that, where it's a franchise that's been around for a long time. You're talking people who've been playing it forever. How much time are you going to invest in it? And by the way, Virtua Fighter essentially is considered a dead game. They don't really run tournaments for it or anything anymore. So why am I going to invest all that time and effort to learn a game that's a dead game? So got to that point. I liked it. And I was like, nah, well, I guess that's it. And that was when I stopped playing. It took about a month, and that was it. No, I've never ridden on a camel. Mortal Kombat or Tekken? Here's the thing. I played them both in the 90s, and they're both really good fighting game franchises. Mortal Kombat, in the last few iterations, has evolved to be almost more like Street Fighter in a way. They actually introduced some things in the last Mortal Kombat, like the wake-up moves and stuff. They're very different than previous Mortal Kombats, which is really nice. Tekken has gone off in its own direction as the most prominent 3D fighter. I really do feel like they have beaten all their competition, and they've become the most prominent 3D fighter out there. At the same time, that game has evolved further to the point where, like, even knowing a basic knowledge of Tekken doesn't really help you that much anymore. Like, I played Tekken 1, 2, 3, and to some extent 4, and then I kind of stopped. And now when I try to jump into the new Tekkens, it's like, Jesus Christ. People are just fucking insane. They sit there, they get one counter hit, juggle, 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 OTG, juggle, juggle, set up, wall bounce, juggle, 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 juggle. Whoa, shit, that just didn't even exist when I played Tekken. And now I gotta, like, the whole game is based around it. Like, how am I supposed to play this competitively? You know, I can't. I'll learn basics, play for a week or two, then get bodied by everyone who mastered all the evolution of the game engine in the last 15 years. So,
man, he went
kind of is what it
late
is.
Today, dude.
That's what happens. You get left behind. If you don't play these games constantly, you know, you get completely left behind in the dust. And will I play Tekken 8? Sure, I will. And I'm sure I'll enjoy it to some extent, but I'm never going to be able to play it competitively. Yes, I did play Soul Calibur back in the day, back when it was called Soul Edge. It was Soul Blade, Soul Edge, Soul Calibur 2, and then it went on as Soul Calibur 17. Or how many ever, maybe there are now. I don't
Soul
even know.
Blade, Soul Calibur, Soul Edge, Soul...
What's the advantage of using a fighting stick over a controller in Street Fighter? Today, there's pretty much none. For older games, it was actually quite difficult to pull off special moves on a controller. Because, I'll give you a quick tutorial here. What is a Shoryuken or Dragon Punch? On a controller, you have to tap forward, then down, then down forward.
Dude.
So you have to go like this. That's the Dragon Punch input. See that? That's what you had to do back in the day. It's easier to do it on a joystick than it is on a gamepad. But then, when Street Fighter 4 came out, they dumbed it down. They said, you don't have to do this anymore, this input. Instead, you could just tap down forward twice and press a button, it'll come out. And it works. So, once they dumbed down all the inputs, there's no advantage to using a joystick anymore, I don't feel. It's really just preference. And I basically feel like, for me, because I grew up playing on joysticks, I do have an easier time playing on a stick. Because I played in arcades for a good 10, 15 years of my life, you know? So now I'm just used to it. And even then, when these games initially came to consoles, the older ones controlled better with a joystick. It wasn't until Street Fighter 4 that it kind of got watered down a bit. And now you can play on any gamepad and it's fine. I don't think there's a big difference anymore. So, all right, guys, we've got to end the show. We have to end the show. Every day we go long on the podcast, but we do have to end it. And we do have to start with Elden Ring for today. All right? So I will say
Okie dokie.
Thank you. Great stream.
Thank you.
Great
stream.
Thank you for engagement.
Thank you guys for
Anyone who did support it
engagement.
in these early hours, thank you for that as well. But now we will end the show and jump into Elden Ring for the day. All right, guys, thank you so very much. I appreciate you all. And, of course, be sure to pollinate.
All right, I'm gonna get out of here. I do appreciate you guys chilling. Peace out. Everybody has a great day. Have a great, was it Tuesday? Tuesday, Wednesday, whatever day it is. Peace out.
Today, some shithead hater will take something that I say out of context, and a ton of morons will watch that video. So within a day or two, that video will get like 5,000 views. While my daily gameplay videos each are getting, what, like 1,000 views, if that? Cuck life, 100%. Live the life of the cuck. Why not? YouTube doesn't care. Illegal, immoral, harmful, fucking toxic. This is insane. This is fucking toxic. Cuck life. It became a meme, right? The meme was to hate on me. Were there legitimate reasons? At first, there were. But over the years, are you shitting me how I've changed? Like how different I am now? There is nothing fucking legitimate you could do. With the shit these people say and do, the insane amounts of slander and defamation about me that's just untrue on the internet. There's no way I could ever, in any capacity, you know, legally or otherwise, there's no way I could even dispute 99% of the shit they say because of the insane amount of it that they say. Cuck life, 100%. Live the life of the cuck.
Why not? YouTube doesn't care. Illegal, immoral, harmful, fucking toxic. This is insane. This is fucking toxic. Cuck life, 100%. Live the life of the cuck. Why not? YouTube doesn't care. Illegal, immoral, harmful, fucking toxic. This is insane. This is fucking toxic. Cuck life, 100%. Live the life of the cuck. Why not?